Hola, bienvenidos a su canal de YouTube Español en Casa. El día de hoy vamos a estar teniendo una sesión, un ciclo de videos en inglés, un poco porque gran parte de la comunidad me ha pedido que hagamos esa transición a crear alguna lista de reproducción y algunos videos sobre trabajos en inglés, con el objetivo de que ustedes que tienen como el español como lengua materna, igual que yo, puedan hacer trabajos en inglés y esto nos dé un valor añadido como canal, como comunidad y que más personas vengan y se unan. Ha sido una de las recomendaciones que me ha dado YouTube, así que vamos a estar sacando una sesión de videos en inglés. Es parte de un proyecto piloto que espero que sea exitoso y que permita que el canal siga creciendo. Nos estamos acercando a los 40.000 suscriptores y me siento muy contenta por eso. Así que pues creo que ha llegado el momento de que también transitemos hacia la bilingüalidad. Así que eso es lo que vamos a hacer con estos videos. Hoy les voy a enseñar a elaborar un speech en inglés, ¿ok? Un speech descriptivo donde ustedes prueben que saben hacer algo, ¿no? Esto es una asignación que se deja mucho en universidades norteamericanas con el objetivo precisamente que practiquen los estudiantes su inglés. Entonces eso es lo que vamos a hacer hoy. Si es la primera vez que estás viendo un video en mi plataforma educativa, te pido que por favor te suscribas a mi canal, me regales un like y compartas el link de este video en todas tus redes sociales. También espero que te animes a recibir clases personalizadas conmigo vía Meet. Hay diferentes niveles, desde $99.99 hasta $399.99. Te puedo ayudar a hacer ensayos, análisis crítico de obras literarias, hacer poemas, tanto en inglés como en español. Y espero que si en este momento estás estudiando en una universidad norteamericana y te sientes muy frustrado o frustrada porque no sabes cómo elaborar un speech en inglés, pues veas que no es tan difícil. También recordarles que tenemos nuevos videos los miércoles, los viernes y los domingos. Espero que mi comunidad que ve mis videos de biografías pues vaya a esa lista de reproducción, me apoyan un montón. Estoy segura que ustedes no se han visto los 439 videos que hay en español, así que los invito a volver a ver mis videos con el objetivo de pues que sigamos monetizando, pero pues ha llegado el momento también de transitar a otro idioma y espero que también apoyen este proyecto. Además, si ustedes hablan pues 2 idiomas, esto también les va a permitir practicar su inglés. Bueno, agradecerle también a toda la gente que envía su donativo todos los meses, obviamente a Janet, al Planeta de Abraham, a Rodolfo, a Noé, a Miguel, a Hipólito, a Orlando, a Unida, a Arelis y a Verónica, a todos ustedes que confían en la creación de contenido de Español en Casa y de esta nueva lista de reproducción Spanish at Home, que en el futuro se convertirá en un canal secundario. Todavía no lo voy a hacer porque le tengo que elaborar una nueva línea gráfica, pero bueno, es parte de lo que obviamente ya estamos en proyecto. Agradecerle a todos ustedes por enviar donativos. Si quieres donar a mi canal, lo único que tienes que hacer es irte al botón unirme, al lado de suscribirme. Ahí hay niveles de 2.49, 14.99 y 34.99 con el objetivo de, pues si quieres donar y apoyar la creación de contenido, pues gracias. Recuerden el tema de mis asesorías personalizadas para hacer trabajos escolares. Recuerden también que me deben avisar con tiempo para ponernos de acuerdo porque muchas veces tengo estudiantes con una enorme diferencia horaria de hasta de 20 horas. Entonces es importante saber desde qué país ustedes me están viendo y desde qué país quieren contratar mis servicios. Recuerden que todos los pagos se hacen vía YouTube porque es una plataforma segura. Y es una plataforma que te permite a ti pues manejar tu información crediticia con completo sigilo y a mí también. Así que los pagos son exclusivamente vía YouTube, que es una plataforma completamente segura. Puedes cancelar ese pago en cualquier momento, puedes pagar todas las horas de un mes, como bueno, hacen todos por adelantado y yo te doy todas las asesorías y nos ponemos de acuerdo con los días y los horarios. Ok, siempre me preguntan mucho qué nivel me recomienda. Realmente no te voy a recomendar solo porque sea el nivel más caro, Creo que como todos debes comenzar con el nivel de 99.99 que te da acceso a 5 horas, luego moverte al de 249 que te da acceso a 10 horas y si lo consideras necesario al nivel de 399 que son 15 euros. Eso va a depender obviamente de tu capacidad económica, pero también de la cantidad de horas que necesitas, porque no todo el mundo necesita 10 horas ni 15 horas, hay gente que con 5 al mes tiene suficiente, pero hay gente que sí necesita todavía mucho más acompañamiento. ¿Qué tipo de apoyo brindo? Apoyo en elaboración de ensayos en español y en inglés, elaboración del discurso oral y público, que es lo que vamos a ver hoy, poemas y tesis monográficas. Bueno, vamos a movernos entonces a esto que es una tarea. Obviamente, este estudiante tenía que elaborar un discurso oral y público donde ella explicara o le enseñara más bien a la audiencia cuáles son los pasos que ella debía seguir para elaborar un ensayo. Esto se estila muchísimo, como les digo, en las universidades norteamericanas, en la asignatura de discurso oral y público, que el estudiante elabore un speech, donde explique los pasos para hacer algo, ¿no? Esto es un speech descriptivo. Hay speech argumentativos o persuasive, donde ustedes van a tratar de convencer a los demás, pero en este caso particular, ella en el speech lo que tenía que demostrar era su capacidad de hacer algo. Y ella pues inteligentemente eligió cómo hacer un ensayo. Remember that you have to write down a good title. In this case, going to be how to write an essay and not die trying. Okay? And now we're going to move on to the speech. She decided to start the speech with an anecdote. I like the way that she did it. 5 years ago, when I came from Mexico to the United States, the first assignment I have to turn in at school was an essay. The essay was about the use of new digital platform to learn. My original idea was to prove how in the new information age you can learn anything using Google and YouTube, especially because firstly, these platforms are free, secondly, because these platforms are available at all times, and thirdly, because on this site you can find almost any topic. However, despite the fact that I was clear about my topic, I was not able to write the essay and I failed the class. It's a negative memory, right? At that moment, I began to think why writing an essay is so difficult for students, and I understood that the answer is that many educational systems promote memorization but not the understanding of the topic or critical thinking. ¿Ya? Entonces ella está haciendo una introducción, nos está introduciendo al tema, nos está dando un recuerdo, una memoria que ella la marcó y que por tanto hizo que ella tomara el reto de aprender a hacer un ensayo, ¿no? Por eso se titula How to Write an Essay and Not Die Trying. In a study at George Washington University, May in 2007, first-year undergraduate reported that students were rarely required to criticize an argument, define a problem, and propose a solution, shape their writing to meet the reader's need, or revise based on feedback. Furthermore, according to a survey conducted by the Chronicle of Higher Education, 61% of high school teachers said their students have never written a paper that was more than 5 pages. As a result, she's using quote, right? She's using quotation in order to explain the situation. So, as a result, students have not had enough practice to write a good essay. So this is the problem, right? When I understood that, I decided to watch all the videos I could on YouTube to learn how to do an essay. And when I took the class again, I passed it with an A+. Based on that experience, today I'm going to show you all the steps that you must follow to do an essay and not die trying. Since, like me, you have also faced the challenge of doing an essay. I will cover everything since choosing the topic, writing the introduction, building a good hook, developing a strong body with arguments, developing a strong counter argument phase, and writing a thought-provoking conclusion. So you never have to face an F again like I did. She's trying to connect with the reader, okay? She's speaking openly about the situation, about what she didn't pass. But for that reason, she decided to learn how to write a good essay. And she's going to provide this information to you. So if you are in this particular moment writing an essay, this is going to help you a lot, right? So now we're going to move on to the body paragraph. The first thing to understand when doing an essay is its definitions. It seems simple, but it's not, since many students don't know the concept of an essay. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, an essay can be defined as a short piece of writing on a particular subject, especially one done by a student as part of the work of a course. And this is really important because she is defining what it is an essay. And this is important in order to understand the speech, right? The second thing, because she's using, if you notice, first, second, third, fourth, this helps you a lot to organize your ideas. So the second thing to be clear about is the structure of an essay. Every essay consists on an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. Each part of an essay has specified functions, and they are equally important. So I'm going to explain each one step by step. Now she's explaining that she's going to speak a little about the introduction, conclusion, the body, and works cited. The first things to do when writing an essay is to define an attractive topic that allows you to take a certain position and write a specific thesis. For example, a good thesis can be the need to introduce a critical thinking subject in all schools and at all levels, the need to legalize marijuana in the case of terminally ill patients, or the importance of legalizing marriage between same-sex couples. She's providing us some examples, right? Also, in the introduction, it is very important to use an attractive hook that allows to capture the reader's attention and make him or her paying attention to the speech, in this case to the essay. This hook can be a personal anecdote, as I did at the beginning of this speech. It could be a memory, a compelling statistic, or a human history. Of course, the introduction is an important part of a good essay because you are going to present your thesis statement there. But then you need to move on to the next part, the body of the essay. Okay? The body of the essay is the place where you will develop the arguments that support your thesis. The arguments are clear ideas that demonstrate that your research thesis has scientific support. That is why in the body of the essay, it is important to include direct quote and indirect quote. In this, you will include what other authors said about your topic, and you will show the reader that you have done a lot of research on the topic to be discussed. In the body of the essay, it is advisable to write at least 3 arguments to support the topic. For example, because she's providing good examples in order to understand, right? For example, if the thesis is the importance of approving gay marriage, the argument can be the principle of equality before the law, the right to form a family, and the right to live and inherit to our loved one. On the other hand, it is important that the body of the essay will be separated into at least 3 paragraphs, and that these will be connected to each other. with keywords such as in addition, therefore, moreover, furthermore, as I mentioned before, as a result, etc. That means that you have to use connector, right? It is also important to remember that citation must be placed following APA or MLA regulation. In the same way, if the essay have an university level, it is important to manage a good counter-argument phase in which you refute the ideas of other authors who don't support your research thesis. For example, returning to the issue of gay marriage, it can be said that although some authors consider that same-sex couples should not marry, as this disrupts the natural orders and goes against the law of God, legal love cannot be subordinate to any religion sought. Okay, so she's providing good example of why getting married is important, right? After the body is ready, you need to move on to the last part. You need to write a conclusion in order to summarize all the most important information about your topic. The conclusion is the last part of the essay, and it helps you to restate the thesis and promote a reflection on the reader. That means that you have to provide a clinch. It should not be more than one paragraph. Finally, but not least important, you need to write the word cited, in which you are going to mention all the sources that you read in order to recover information about your topic. The word cited is the part in which you provide all the reference lists in order to avoid plagiarism and respect all the researchers' idea. Okay, now we're moving to the end, right? As a conclusion, today I have taught you how you can write an essay in a simple way. You have learned that an essay is a scientific document in which you must demonstrate a research thesis through solid and coherent argument. You have also learned that an essay has three elements: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. You have also studied that it is important to build a hook that captures the reader's attention, recover direct and indirect citations, and finally include a list of all the research papers that you have consulted to avoid plagiarism. So, what are you waiting for to start writing your first essay? Do it now and live in the attempt. Okay, so I like the end of the essay because she's trying to invite all the audience to try to write down a good essay. And because she provides all the steps that you have to follow in order to write down a good essay, I think that this is an excellent speech because she's providing some statistics. If you notice here, okay, this is really important because she provides good statistics here. I think it's here. Okay, if you see in this paragraph, she's providing good statistics in order to support that most of the students have never faced the problem to write down a good essay. And because actually problem solution tasks are not developing at a school, that is a reason because at university it's going to be really difficult for them to write down a good essay. So I love this speech because, as you notice, the student is using, okay, question mark, direct quote in order to provide information. Then actually she provides another really important statistic here, okay, it's alarming. 61% of high school teachers said that students have never written a paper that was more than 5 pages, okay? That means that it's going to be really difficult for them if they never have to write down an essay at college to write down a good essay at university. And it's alarming, right? She's providing statistics. So I love this part of this particular speech because she is providing good information. Besides that, she's using connector, okay? The first thing, the second thing, then the first thing, okay, choose using connector. And beside that, I love that the student actually is providing a definition of what is a good essay, okay, because when you are delivering a speech, okay, you have to define the topic of the speech. For example, I decide to explain how to cook chicken, okay, so you have to explain a little bit about the recipe. Or I want to explain, I don't know, how to make a surgery. So it's important that you define what is surgery. So when you're using these particular words, essay, summary, critical summary could be, it's important that you explain a little bit about the definition. And I love that the student, as you notice here, is mentioned the definition at Cambridge Dictionary. I love this specific definition because I think that provides a lot to the topic. Then she organized excellence, all the ideas, okay, in the speech. You notice, of course, that I have the teacher and I help her to develop all the ideas. And finally, as you notice, she provides a good conclusion with a reflection. And I love that she, at the end, is inviting to the audience to try to take this task, right? So what are you waiting for to start writing your first essay? Do it now and live in the time. And I love that she's like playing with the words, because if you notice, the title is How to Write an Essay and Not Die Trying. And because she provides all the information in the speech, that means that at the end here, you are going to be able to write down a good speech with all the information. Remember that even though this is not an essay, it's a speech, you have to provide your words cited or your reference list. Okay, in this case, just using, let me see, just using APA format, okay? You just see we have here a lot of documents that we actually recover from some universities. For that reason, in most of the reference list, we don't have an author because this is a corporate author. That means that a university write down the paper. So we have Carnegie Mellon University, okay, this is the author, es un autor corporativo, right? Then we have the titles, why are students coming into college poorly prepared to write? And then we have the URL, okay, el URL, in order that if you want to recover the source, you can do it. Then we have Cambridge Dictionary. Then we have another paper from Nova Southeastern University. We have the title, the URL. Then we have another university, and another university. So actually these are all the steps that you have to follow in order to prepare a good speech. I know that it could be a little bit, a lot of information at the beginning, but I think that you're going to be able. Remember that in the description, I'm going to include this information in PDF if you want to download the document and read the information. Okay, remember that, well, you can watch the video, but then it's a good idea to download the PDF and read by yourself. Bueno, espero que les haya gustado este video, okay, que está orientado a personas cuya lengua materna es el español, pero están estudiando cursos en inglés y por tanto para ellos pues se vuelve un poco más difícil este tipo de tareas. Recuerden, y lo explico un poquito en español, que la idea de un speech siempre es demostrar algo, explicar algo, puede ser convencer a la audiencia de algo. En este caso yo desarrollé un speech descriptivo donde uno describe los pasos para hacer algo. En este caso fui la tutora de este estudiante y ella describió los pasos para hacer un ensayo. Cualquier tema puede convertirse en un speech siempre y cuando ustedes recuperen información. Recuerden que en el speech tiene que haber citas, tiene que haber estadísticas. No solamente es decir tu opinión o decir los pasos para preparar una receta o un batido. O sea, tiene que haber un poco de información y eso es muy importante que lo tengas presente. Bueno, si les gustó este video, en esta nueva lista de reproducción que estamos intentando llegar a un nuevo público, a personas que están haciendo tareas en inglés y necesitan ayuda, pues por favor regálame un like, suscríbete a mi canal, comparte el link de este video en todas tus redes sociales con personas que estén aprendiendo español o que estén aprendiendo inglés, y que estoy segura que siempre tener una tutora que hable tu lengua original ayuda mucho, porque a veces cuando el inglés todavía no tiene cierto nivel, se hace difícil entender todas las asignaciones y las orientaciones de las profesoras o de los profesores, y por eso estoy yo, para ayudarte en todo eso. Bueno, si te gustó el video, pues no te pierdas, todas estas semanas vamos a tener nuevos videos en inglés donde voy a estar explicando cómo elaborar ensayos, cómo elaborar discurso oral y público, cómo elaborar tareas, cómo escribir fábulas creativas, todo esto en inglés. Para mi comunidad que no habla inglés o que pues prefiere oír mis videos en español, les recuerdo que tenemos 439 videos y no se molesten porque la idea es que lleguen más personas, así que ustedes pueden ir a ver esos videos de nuevo cuantas veces quieran, con el objetivo siempre de apoyar el canal, apoyar la monetización, regalarme un like. Los quiero mucho, les mando un beso y un abrazo y nos seguimos viendo. Bye bye.